It is a little windy here in Cottonwood, Arizona, but it is a beautiful night for some baseball. Philip Katafmo, happy to have you along with me here at Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School as the Marauders take on the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. I'm Philip Katafmo, happy to have you along with me here on Verde Valley TV. The Marauders come into this one looking to break a 5-game losing streak as they took back-to-back losses against Coconino last week, one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And, of course, the Bradshaw Mountain Bears coming into this one very hot, 5-1 in the region, 8-3 overall. They're coming off of a win last Thursday against Mojave and a win on Friday against, or loss on Friday against Saguaro. So the Bears looking for a victory. The Marauders are looking for a victory in what isn't necessarily an official for a Grand Canyon rivalry, but these two teams play each other very well. It doesn't matter the sport. It's always a close and fun game when the Marauders take on the Bears. And we are in for a treat. As I mentioned, the Marauders trying to break a 5-game losing streak, and they'd love to do it against those rivals across the mountain, the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. We will take a break, but when we come back, we'll preview this matchup. We'll get you ready for this current game right here, and we'll get your first pitch and starting lineup. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
Want to welcome you back here to Patterson Field as the Marauders get set to take on the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. I'm Philip Katafamo. Happy to have you along with me wherever you may be, right here on Verde Valley TV. Let's take a look at those Bears. As I mentioned, Coach Brundick's team coming into this one 8-3 overall, 5-1 in the region. Last Thursday, they won 6-0 against Mojave, led by Dalton Irwin, the sophomore, 2 for 3 with 1 RBI and a walk in that game. Sky Yarbrough, 2 for 3 in that one as well. Sam Brown, another 2 for 4 performance with 1 RBI from the junior. Josh Grant, 1 for 3 with 1 RBI and 1 double. Of course, a couple other guys tacking on a few RBIs in that 6-0 victory against Mojave. On the mound, the gentleman we will see tonight, well, it's Sky Yarbrough. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts on 78 pitches in a shutout victory last Thursday against Mojave. And we'll see what Sky Yarbrough has in store for the Marauders as he will be on the mound for the Bears tonight. Of course, that Friday loss against Saguaro, the Bradshaw Bears losing 6-2 in that one against Saguaro, the Phoenix team. Jordan Massis, the senior, 2 for 3 in that game with 1 double and 1 walk. Sky Yarbrough, 2 for 4. Vance Sarter, the catcher, 1 for 3. Wes Collier, 1 for 3 with 1 walk. And it was a bit of a hodgepodge in terms of pitching. A few guys on the mound for the Bears in that loss against Saguaro. Sam Brown, Josh Grant, and Jordan Massis all getting a little bit of time on the mound each in that 6-2 loss. But Coach Brundick is looking for a bounce-back victory here against a formidable foe in the Mingus Marauders as the Marauders come into this one looking to break a 5-game losing streak. And, well, it started on Tuesday, losing to Coconino 3-5, a much closer loss in that 2-game matchup than the other matchup, which we'll talk about in just a couple seconds here. Ryan Schamberger in that game on Tuesday, 1 for 2 with 1 double. Zach Harrison, 1 for 3 with a double. Ben Balo, the freshman, 1 for 3 with a hit there on Tuesday. Jan Alvarez, who will be on the mound for the Marauders, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs. 1 of them earned, 2 walks and 0 strikeouts in a 3-5 loss. But Alvarez will look to bounce back here tonight against the Bears, and he'll get another opportunity on the mound. The quote-unquote ace of the staff for Coach Quesada, him and Trey Peters have been sort of the 1-2 punch that Coach Quesada has been going to. Peters pitching in the game last Thursday against Coconino, a 13-1 loss in 5 innings. A tough loss for Coach Quesada and the Mingus Marauders, and they're looking to change their luck here tonight. Jonathan Sanchez, 1 for 2 in that game. Only one of a couple hits the Marauders were able to find, the other one coming from Anthony Rivera. The Marauders were not only shut out, but no hit going into the bottom of the 5th inning. They were thankfully able to get a couple hits around and bring Jonathan Sanchez around to score in that 13-1 loss last week against Coconino. Of course, Anthony Rivera, another guy who got a hit in that game, 1 RBI. Trey Peters struggled a little on the mound. Ryan Anderson came in relief, and so did Hunter Cogill, who we have not seen so far this season. Cogill coming up and offering some relief from the Marauders in that loss. These two teams did get a chance to match up in 2019, and they split 1-1. And here we are in 2021, almost a whole year later, and these two teams are finally getting an opportunity to play against each other. As I mentioned, not necessarily an official rivalry. Of course, you could say Prescott is more of a rival for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears than the Mingus Marauders are, but I know Coach Quesada and along with my color commentator during football season, Nick Yatsenko, both say that the Marauders love playing the Bears tough. And of course, Coach Bob Young, who for the longest time was the football coach here at Mingus Union High School, now takes his talents over to Bradshaw Mountain. He's their football coach. The Bears had a great football season this past year under new head coach Bob Young, and of course, Coach Young helping out the baseball team as he did when he was here at Mingus. And so we'll probably see Coach Young on the sidelines if you already have it on your screen a couple times. He is just assisting with Coach Brundick. He is listed as one of the assistant coaches. So it's cool to see Coach Young back out on the diamond along with out on the football field, a multi-talented coach who brought a lot of success to this high school here at Mingus Union and is looking to continue the strong success and the strong programs over at Bradshaw Mountain. So they got themselves a gem. And I'll give you one guess if you can tell who Coach Young is. And if you say the gentleman with the gray sweater, you're 100% correct. I think Coach Young only owns one sweater, and it's that gray one. But happy to have Coach Young back here. And the Marauders, like I mentioned, looking for a victory. We'll take you around the diamond here for the Mingus Marauders starting lineup. At third base will be Trey Peters. At short will be Ryan Lindsay. He's finding his way back in the lineup. Ben Balo over at second. Ryan Schamberger, the usual man, taking over duties at first base. Out in the outfield, a little bit of a change for the Marauders. Jonathan Sanchez moving from right field to left field. The senior getting the start in left. Anthony Rivera in center. Emmett Smith in right field. He gets the start. Haven't seen Emmett Smith start in right field in a little bit. And the battery, of course, Jan Alvarez, as I mentioned, looking to bounce back after a 3-5 loss against Coconino last week. He'll get his first opportunity here against Bradshaw in 2021 tonight. And Zach Harrison behind the dish for the Mingus Marauders. The 1-2-3 for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Of course, we will go around one more time when we get this game started. We are patiently waiting for our officials to arrive to the field. And for the Bears, it'll be Ryan Buckle, Dalton Irwin, and Jordan Massis, the 1-2-3 for the Bears when we get started. We're going to take another break, but when we come back, we will have National Anthem. We will have the first pitch, and we will have Bears versus Marauders right here on Verde Valley TV. Stay with us.
From the Merkin Farm to your table, from their vines to your glass. Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin Pizza and Gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
Back here to Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School for tonight's baseball matchup as the Mingus Marauders take on the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Marauders looking to break a 5-game losing streak here, and they'd love to do it against the 4A Grand Canyon region opponent in these Bradshaw Mountain Bears, their quote-unquote rival across the mountain. And we are just getting set and ready to go. We do have rankings for you for the 4A conference for baseball. Those were updated today. Coming in at number 5 for the 4A conference is the Flagstaff Eagles. Coach Dubosh doing a great job with the Eagles this season, 10-0 in the region, and they are sitting atop the 4A Grand Canyon region and currently sit number 5 in the 4A conference. The Prescott Badgers, 6-3, coming in at number 9 in the conference. The Bradshaw Mountain Bears coming in at number 10. They sit 8-3 on the season, as I mentioned earlier. The Coconino Panthers come in at number 13 in the conference rankings. Lee Williams, number 15. And, of course, the Mingus Marauders coming in at 31, followed behind by the Mojave Thunderbirds at 33. So both teams looking to improve their conference rankings a little bit. Of course, as I mentioned, Prescott and Bradshaw separated only by a few games. I know Coach Bundrick would love a victory here to sort of distance himself from those crosstown rivals in the Prescott Badgers, and doing it here tonight against the Mingus Marauders would be a great way to start to get some of those conference rankings up. And still a lot more baseball to be played here. Season's still relatively in the middle of the season so far. And we get our first opportunity to see these two teams take on each other. As you can see, the Bears warming up there, getting ready to go. They'll have Sky Yarbrough on the mound when they get an opportunity to pitch. They'll obviously start on the offensive end because they are the away team, and the Marauders will start on the defensive end. And as I mentioned, Jan Alvarez on the mound for the Marauders, looking to bounce back after a tough start against the Coconino Panthers on Tuesday. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs. One of them earned 2 walks and 0 strikeouts. So Alvarez looking for a bounce-back victory here, as are the Marauders. And we got the two coaches walking out to exchange their lineups. We're getting really close to getting started here. Trey Peters at third base for the Marauders. Ryan Lindsay over at short. Ben Balo at second. Ryan Schamberger over at first. Sanchez in left field, Rivera in center, and Smith in right field. And, of course, Zach Harrison and Jan Alvarez on the mound for the Marauders. And only time will tell to see if the Marauders can break that losing streak. They go up and face a tough pitcher in Sky Yarbrough. As I mentioned, he's coming off a great game against Mojave last week. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts on 78 pitches. A shutout victory for the senior pitcher in his final year with the Bears. And now we'll see what he has to offer for the Mingus Marauders. Both teams getting ready to line up for the national anthem. As both teams get ready and lined up, as I mentioned, it'll be Wes Collier, Dalton Irwin, and Jordan Massis are the 1, 2, 3. Collier, the DH for Buckle. Buckle playing second base tonight for Coach Bundrick. Behind us, though, the softball team taking on Bradshaw as well. First time this season these two teams happen to be on the same field at the same time. Baseball taking on Bradshaw and softball taking on Bradshaw as well. We'll have first pitch. Stay with us as we wait for the national anthem. We'll get you some baseball on the other side. Stay here. All right, here we go. Back on Patterson Field as the Marauders take on the Bears of Bradshaw Mountain. Mingus looking to break a 5-game losing streak. I got an opportunity to talk to Coach Casada before the game started. I said, Coach, what do the Marauders have to do tonight to beat the Bears? And he said, we got to get hits, man. And I said, all right. And that's all he told me. So hopefully the Marauders will be able to get a few hits and score a bunch of runs and walk away with a victory against this 4A Grand Canyon opponent. Of course, the Marauders would love to ruin the record and the ranking positioning of the Bradshaw Bears right now, and a victory would do just that. And Mingus, as I mentioned, looking for a win themselves, getting swept by Coconino last week. The first game on the road, 3-5, and then coming back home here and losing 13-1 in 5. And I know Coach Casada would love to just wash the taste of that loss out of his mouth and look forward to a victory tonight here against the Bradshaw Bears, who you see right there on your screen, and the gentleman in the gray sweater, Bob Young, who is a Hall of Famer here at Mingus Union High School, longtime football coach and baseball coach here for the Marauders. Jan Alvarez on the mound for Mingus. Alvarez coming into this game looking for a bounce-back victory on the mound, losing in his last outing against Coconino. Alvarez coming into this game with a 2.47 ERA, 1 win on the season, 2 losses. Alvarez, 17 innings pitched, 18 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts for the junior. Carrying an under 3 ERA. Pretty good, though, so far. As I mentioned, he's looking for a bounce-back win. Zach Harrison behind the plate for the Marauders. Trey Peters over at third. Ryan Lindsay over at shortstop. Ben Balo at second. Ryan Schamberger over at first. Jonathan Sanchez in left field. Anthony Rivera in center. And Emmett Smith in right field for the Mingus Marauders. And as I mentioned, that man right there, Jan Alvarez, on the mound for Mingus. And they're going to need all of Jan Alvarez tonight as they look to steal a win for the Bradshaw Bears before heading on the road to take on Bradshaw on April 15th or Thursday. And then, of course, they'll be back here on April 19th on Monday to take on Winslow, which you can watch right here on Verde Valley TV. And, of course, the Bears are looking forward to a 2-game set against Lee Williams coming up after this game against Mingus, or I should say on Tuesday. They'll take on Lee Williams. So April 20th, if you're a Bears fan, look forward to that one. But here we go. It'll be Wes Collier leading things off for the Bradshaw Bears. Collier, Irwin, and Massis will face Jan Alvarez, the 1-2-3 for the Bears, as we get ready to go here at Patterson Field. Alvarez working out of the full windup, and we await the first pitch. It is on the way. Collier takes that one low for a strike, and the count will go to 0-1. Alvarez starting on the right foot. So Alvarez's second offering here to Collier on the way. The pitch. Collier chops that one foul. Now the count will go to 0-2. We'll see how Alvarez operates ahead in the count today. Seen a couple games where the Marauders have had a tough time getting that elusive third strike or even that elusive third out. The 0-2 on the way to Collier. The pitch. Off speed. Got it off the end of the bat. Slow roller to Balo. Balo picks it up, throws it on to first. 1 down for the Marauders. Dalton Irwin will check in. Irwin had a good game against Mojave on Thursday of last week. 2 for 3, 1 RBI, and 1 walk for the sophomore. He strides in with the best flow of the game. Got the long hair going, and he strides in looking to be the first base runner for the Bears here in the first inning. Alvarez, first one on the way, the pitch. Gonna be swung on and missed. Good low pitch there from Alvarez to get Irwin swinging. So 0-1 count here to Dalton Irwin. No one on. 1 down for the Marauders. The 0-1 offering from Alvarez on the way. Off speed, got him swinging for strike 2. So Alvarez ahead in the count again, was able to get Collier to ground out in the first just a batter ago, and we'll see what he can do here ahead again against Dalton. 0-2. Pitch on the way. That one's going to go away, and the count will go to 1-2. So Alvarez trying to get trying to get Irwin to swing. One-two count here. Alvarez pitch on the way to Irwin with 1 down. That'll go foul. The count will remain 1-2. So now a 1-2 count to the shortstop. One down here for the Marauders, looking for out number 2. The 1-2 on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Off speed. In there, got him looking. The first strikeout for Alvarez, and 2 down for the Marauders. And here comes Jordan Massis. Massis coming into this game off a really good performance against Saguaro. 2 for 3 in that game, 1 double and 1 walk last week, April 9th, against Saguaro in a 6-2 loss, but a good performance from that gentleman right there, Jordan Massis. Alvarez's first offering is on the way with 2 outs here in the top of the first. The first pitch on the way. Check swing, did he go? And they're going to say he did not, so the count will go to 1-0. Not a bad check. But Massis doing a good job of holding out. Not letting that wrist break. So 1-0 count here. Alvarez, the pitch on the way to Massis. Swung on a miss. That one's foul, so the count will go to 1-1. So Alvarez here on a 1-1 count. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. No one on. Massis looking to be the first base runner for Bradshaw here in the top of the first. Alvarez looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The count is 1-1. Pitch on the way from Alvarez. Off speed in there for a strike. Off speed's looking good for Alvarez so far. We'll see if it works for him throughout this game, but at least these first couple batters, Alvarez has been tossing that off-speed pitch successfully. And now a 1-2 count, was able to get Irwin to strike out on the 1-2. We'll see if he gives it to Massis. Alvarez looking for out number 3. The 1-2 is in there for another back-to-back strike. 2 strikeouts for Jan Alvarez. No hits allowed as we head to the Marauder half of the first inning. Our score 0-0. Mingus will get a chance at the offensive side of things. Stay with us.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Sky Yarbrough on the mound for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Want to welcome you back here to Patterson Field as the Marauders take on the Bears here in a 4A Grand Canyon Region matchup. Those Mingus Marauders, it'll be Anthony Rivera, Ben Balo, and Jan Alvarez, the 1-2-3 for the Marauders here. And as I mentioned, they take on Sky Yarbrough. Yarbrough pitching last week on Thursday. That would have been April 8th, able to get the victory. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, no earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. So Yarbrough coming off a solid start against Mojave on April 8th. And we'll see what he can offer the Marauders as Anthony Rivera will step in. We'll take you quickly around the diamond. Elias Avila over at third base for the Bears. Dalton Irwin over at short. Ryan Buckle at second. Blair Hillig over at first. Sam Brown over in left, Josh Grant in center, Jordan Massis in right field, and the battery of Sky Yarbrough on the mound and Vance Sartoro behind the plate for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. And here we go, Anthony Rivera stepping in for the Marauders. Only get one of 2 guys able to get a hit last week as it's a slow roller picked up by Buckle. Throw on to first is in time for the first out of the game. Very similar first outs for both pitchers. A ground out to second, so 1 down for the Bears. As I was talking, Alvarez, one of only 2 guys able to find hits in that 13-1 loss last Thursday against against Coconino. And Alvarez grounding out early on here, so we'll see what Ben Balo can do as he strides in. 1 down here for the Bears. First pitch on the way from Yarbrough is in for a strike. So 0-1 count here to Ben Balo. The second offering from Yarbrough on the way. Off speed, got him swinging. Nice off speed pitch there from Yarbrough. Good curveball. So Balo got to protect here on 0-2. Pitch on the way from the senior. 0-2 will go outside, and the count will now go to 1-2 on Ben Balo. Yarbrough coming into this game an under 1 ERA. He's at .80. 5 wins on the season, 1 loss in 35 innings pitched. The 1-2 on the way to Balo here, looking for out number 2. It'll be a slow chopper. Yarbrough will field it from the mound. Throw on to first is in time for the second out of the inning. And that'll be Jan Alvarez striding in for the Marauders. Alvarez usually sits at that number 2 hole, getting moved down to the 3 hole, batting behind Ben Balo. I would assume Coach Quesada's thinking is that if a guy like Jonathan Sanchez, who's at the bottom of the order, or Anthony Rivera and Ben Balo, who are the 1-2, if they get on, Jan Alvarez can be the guy to bring him around. So 2 down here as Alvarez looks for a base hit. First one on the way from Yarbrough is swung on and missed. Count will go to 0-1. Excuse me if I say Yarbrough, I meant Yarbrough. So a quick 0-1 count here to Jan Alvarez. The pitchers facing each other, the junior at the plate, the senior on the mound. The 0-1. That one does hit Alvarez. He will head over to first base. And the Marauders have their first base runner as Yarbrough accidentally lets that one go, and now Trey Peters will step up. Runner on first, 2 outs, an opportunity here for the Marauders to bring around a run early on, something they were unable to do in that game against Coconino last Thursday on April 8th. A tough 13-1 loss, but runner on first will get a pinch runner. It will be Isaiah Godina running for the pitcher. Probably see that a few times if Alvarez gets on to make sure that Jan doesn't get hurt, sliding into second or trying to steal or advance on a pass ball, or really any scenario that might come while you're running over at first, second, or third. So get a little protection for your pitcher as Isaiah Godina takes over pinch running duties at first. He gets a look from Yarbrough. Trey Peters at the plate for the Marauders with 2 down. First one on the way to Peters runs inside, and the count will go to 1-0. So a 1-0 count here to Peters with a runner on first. Yarbrough takes a look at Godina over at first. The 1-0 offering is in for a strike. Peters striding back in here. 1-1 count. Godina over at first with 2 outs. The 1-1. Curveball, foul. Nice off-speed pitch there from both pitchers. The curveball is working well for Yarbrough and for Jan Alvarez. Get a couple guys swinging as you see Peters swinging on that last pitch from Yarbrough. Yarbrough taking a look again over at first. The 1-2. Foul. So Peters battling at the plate here. 1-2 count. 2 down. Zach Harrison waiting on deck. Isaiah Godina over at first. Peters awaiting the 1-2 here from Yarbrough. Godina over at first. We'll see if he takes off. The 1-2. Curveball into right field. It'll fall. Massis is going to track it down. He will. Godina will head over to third. Peters will stay at first. And the Marauders have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Nice piece of hitting right there from Trey Peters. Able to muscle it off the end of the bat. And you can see Godina gets a good look at it and knows, yeah, that one's going to be deep enough. So I'm going to take off from first all the way to third. Marauders with the runner in scoring position. Trey Peters standing over at first base, and Mingus with an opportunity here right there. You see that hit from Peters, just matching that ball perfectly. Yarbrough leaving that curveball a little too high, and Peters able to work it into right field. His first single of tonight. Now Zach Harrison will stride in. Harrison 1 for 3 with a double last Tuesday against Coconino in a 3-5 loss. Was hitless last Thursday against Coconino, and we'll see if he can change his luck here in front of the home fans with runners on the corners. Godina over at third, Peters on first. Godina the pinch runner for Jan Alvarez, who got on with a hit by pitch, and Peters, who just got on with a single, and Yarbrough steps off the mound. I highly doubt we'll see Peters take off to second. But let's see how aggressive Coach Quesada wants to be on the bags tonight. That, of course, will take away the double play, though. No need for the double play here anyway with 2 outs. That one swung on and missed from Zach Harrison on the high fastball. of course, 2 down, there's really no pressure to put Trey Peters on second, but let's just see what happens. Harrison awaiting the 0-1 here. Yarbrough taking a look at the runner at first. Peters will remain at first. Harrison, a slow chopper to the shortstop, picked up by Irwin, eaten up. 1 run will get around. Peters is going to take off to second. It's lost in left field by Sam Brown. Peters is going to round third. Here comes the relay. It is not even going to be close. Harrison's going to take off to third. They're going to try to get him out at third, and they will. A great defensive play, but not before 2 can come around. Harrison with an RBI double. And the Marauders are up 2-0. We'll head to the top of the second. Stay with us.
The Suzy Q Market is the most convenient stop for road trips with 1,500 beverage selections and plenty of snacks. And save on fuel with the Marathon Make It Count reward program. The Suzy Q drive-thru window is the most convenient way to stop for those essentials on the way home.
Road trips start here with something for everyone.
At Suzy Q.
Shop local first, always.
Go Marauders!
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 36 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. They thank you for your business confidence and continued referrals. Lawler Construction, a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction homes at Mountain Gate and Clarkdale this summer.
Let's see the replay there. As you can see, Trey Peters reading the base hit by Zach Harrison, able to come around and score. The throw a little bit off from left fielder Sam Brown. And an unfortunate hop for Dalton Irwin at shortstop for Bradshaw. And it brings around 2. The Marauders up 2-0 as Elias Avila steps in to face Jan Alvarez. Alvarez, a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. He starts Avila off with a high fastball. And you can see Harrison thrown out at third, trying to advance on that 2 RBI double from the junior catcher. And a 1-0 count to Avila as we pick things up here in the top of the second inning. As I mentioned, Mingus leading 2-0 early on. Avila awaiting the 1-0 here. The pitch on the way from Alvarez is in the dirt, and the count will go to 2-0. So a 2-0 count here to Avila. Alvarez looking for another 1-2-3 inning. The 2-0. Avila watches that one high. Now the count will go to 3-0. Alvarez pitching quite well in that top of the first inning. 2 strikeouts and a ground out resulted in a 1-2-3 inning. The 3-0. Does find the strike zone on that 4th pitch. And the count will go to 3-1. Alvarez ahead in the count on all 3 of his batters in the first inning. And now here falling behind 3-1. We'll see how he works back. 3-1 on the way to Avila. The pitch. Curveball too high. Count will go for a walk. And Avila will head over to first and bring up Sam Brown, the left fielder. Brown was on the mound in the loss against Saguaro, but did get an RBI on 2 for 4. 2 hits in that win against Mojave on Thursday. And with a runner on first, we'll see what he can do. Alvarez in the stretch now with the runner over at first. First one on the way to Brown. The pitch is fouled off. The count will go to 0-1. Brown coming into this game second in the team in batting average, batting .357 so far. 10 hits on 28 at-bats, 7 RBIs, and 2 doubles for the junior. Runner over at first. The 0-1 on the way to Brown. Pitch. Curveball is in the dirt, kept in front by Harrison. Count will go to 1-1. So now a 1-1 count here to Brown with Josh Grant waiting on deck. Avila over at first got on with a leadoff walk here in the top of the second inning. Alvarez would love a double play, shorten this inning up, and keep that Marauder lead at 2-0 going into their half of the second. Alvarez taking an eye at Avila over at first. Avila extends his lead just a little bit. The 1-1. Fouled off. Now the count will go to 1-2. One ball, two strikes here to Sam Brown. Alvarez. Double play possibility here for the Marauders. No outs, one man on. Alvarez again taking a look at the runner over at first. No indication that Avila has taken off yet. The 1-2. Swung on a miss. Another strikeout for Jan Alvarez. First down for the Marauders here in the second. And Josh Grant will step up. 3 strikeouts for Jan Alvarez, and what a solid performance so far from the junior pitcher. He has really settled down here against the Bears. And still, the quick inning is a possibility if the Marauders can get a double play here. Josh Grant, though, going to be a tough out. Avila still over at first for Bradshaw as Alvarez takes a couple looks towards his way. Grant awaiting the first offering from the junior pitcher. Curveball is in for a strike. And the count will go to 0-1. Beautiful day here in Cottonwood. Could do without the wind, but no clouds in the sky and relatively cool temperatures. Good day for a baseball game. 0-1 count here to Josh Grant. Avila still over at first with one down. The 0-1. Curveball, back-to-back spots. That one runs a little inside. And the count will go to 1-1. So Alvarez going back-to-back off-speed pitches to Grant. And you might as well if it's working. One down for the Marauders. One man on. 1-1 count here to Josh Grant, the center fielder. The pitch in the dirt, and the count will go to 2-1. So Alvarez trying not to lose Grant here, was ahead in the count, and Grant patience at the plate. Brings a 2-1 count, and we'll see if Alvarez can work out of it. Grant awaiting the 2-1 here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. The count will go to 2-2. Got him swinging. And now Alvarez with an opportunity here for back-to-back strikeouts. Sky Yarbrough, the pitcher, waiting on deck. Alvarez again working out of the stretch here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Grant with 1 out. Alvarez looking for strikeout number 4, and we'll see if he can get it. Alvarez comes set. The 2-2. Curveball didn't swing. It'll go into the dirt, and count will go to 3-2. Full count now for Josh Grant. And Alvarez got to play it smart here, try to get Grant swinging. Or try to get him to lay off something close, whereas Grant has got to protect anything that is close. He's going to have to try to take a hack at. 3 balls and 2 strikes with only 1 out. Runner over at first. Alvarez checks the runner at first, comes set. The 3-2 on the way. The pitch. Inside corner, did not get the call. Not a bad spot to miss, as Grant will get on. And Avila will head over to second. And with 1 out and 2 men on, Sky Yarbrough with an opportunity to help his own cause and be the difference maker here and possibly bring around both guys at second and first to tie things up. Yarbrough coming into this game batting .310 for the Bears, the senior pitcher. Gave up the lead in the bottom half of the first inning, looking to possibly tie things up here with 1 swing of the bat. 2 men on, 1 down. First one on the way to Yarbrough is a fastball high, and the count will go to 1-0. Blair Hillig waiting on deck for the Bears. Yarbrough strides back in, 1-0 count. Avila at second. Grant over at first. The 1-0 is in for a strike. The count will go to 1-1. So now a 1-1 count to Sky Yarbrough. Only 1 down for the Marauders. Double play still a possibility. The 1-1. Ground ball. Peters Eats it off the chest. Only plays at first. Throws it on to first. Not in time. Bases are loaded. So a tough ground ball for Trey Peters as he takes that one right off the chest. He is okay. He'll wave off Coach Quesada and let him know that he's all right. So we get a pinch runner as we take a look at that one. You can see right there, Peters, though, keeping it in front of him, did a great job recovering after that ground ball. It's just Sky Yarbrough is too quick over at first, and he was able to get on. We do have a pinch runner over at first base. We'll get you his name in a second here. Blair Hillig strides in, smacks the first one foul. It'll go over to the softball field. Aiden Ott, the pinch runner for Sky Yarbrough, as Sky will look to turn his attention to either trying to get the lead back or working with the lead. Everyone on base. Marauders with only one down. 0-1 count here to Hillig. The pitch is high, and the count will go to 1-1. So 1-1 count as the softball finds its way over here. So baseball goes over there, softball finds its way over here. 1-1 count here to Hillig. Again, bases loaded with only one down. Pitch on the way. Curveball. That'll find the strike zone, and the count will go to 1-2. Alvarez has got to operate with the mindset of if one comes around, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world if Alvarez gives up 1 or 2 here. Still a lot of baseball to be played. He just needs to focus on the batter and not worry about anybody else on the mound or on the bags. The 1-2 here to Hillig. Curveball is foul. Count will go to 1-2. Let your defense work is essentially the motto. So 1-2 count here, bases loaded. Marauders still looking for their second out of the inning. The pitch. That one's high. The count will go to 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Blair Hillig with the bases loaded and 1 down. Bradshaw down 0-2 to Mingus. Marauders looking to keep their lead. The 2-2. Curveball. Little high and away. The count now full again. Alvarez walked Josh Grant, who's currently standing on second base with a full count. We'll see what he gives Blair Hillig. 3-2 and the bases loaded. Pitch. Not a bad spot at all for Alvarez to miss, but it is a walk. 1 run will come around. Avila scores. Grant goes to third. Ott goes to second, and Blair Hillig will get on with an RBI walk. And now Vance Sarter will check in. Sarter, the catcher. Bases loaded here. Bradshaw able to get a run back. They gave up 2 in the bottom of the first. Here in the top of the second, they're looking to add on a couple more with only 1 down. First one on the way to Sarter, the pitch from Alvarez. Swung on a miss for strike 1. The 0-1 on the way from Alvarez, the pitch. Sarter watches that one in for a strike. The count will go to 0-2. Harrison able to keep that one in front as it bounced out of the glove. So Alvarez ahead, 0-2 here, looking to get out number 2 and possibly strike out number 4. He got 2 in the first and 1 here in the second. And the Marauders would love it here with bases loaded. Sarter got to protect on 0-2. Pitch on the way from Alvarez. That one's high. Count will now go to 1-2. So a 1-2 count here to Vance Sarter, the catcher for Bradshaw. Bases are loaded here. Alvarez, the 1-2 on the way. Curveball into left field. Sanchez trying to track it down. He'll make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Josh Grant. They'll try to get the runner at third. They will not. Ott is safe. It is a RBI single for Vance Sarter. And the Bears have tied it up. So here we go, the top of the order. Wes Collier will step in. Collier, a ground out victim. First one on the way from Alvarez is in for a strike. Collier grounded out in the first inning. Runners on the corners for the Bears. They're able to tie things up here in the second inning after a 1-2-3 inning in the first from Alvarez. Struggling a little bit here. Pitch on the way. Taken off as a runner from first. Throw down to second from Harrison. It's going to get cut off, and the runners are safe at second and first, respectively. Hillig now safe at second, and Aiden Ott still over at third base, the pinch runner. Oh, 2 count. In right field, Emmett Smith trying to make the catch. He'll make a diving grab, and they're going to say it bounced. It'll be 2 runs coming around for the Bears. They lead 4-2. Collier, a 1-out single, brings around 2. And here comes Dalton Irwin. So I'm sorry, 2 down for the Marauders. I forgot Sarter flew out in the left field. So 2 down here. Mingus looking for their final out as Irwin takes that one in for a strike. Runner over at first base, the lone man, Wes Collier. Bradshaw able to get their first lead of the game here. After coming into this inning trailing 2-0, they now lead 4-2. Irwin awaiting the 0-1 here from Alvarez. The pitch is in for a strike. So now an 0-2 count. Alvarez looking to get out of the inning. The 0-2 on the way from Alvarez, the pitch. And he'll step off. When the Marauders get an opportunity to bat, it'll be Ryan Lindsay, Ryan Schamberger, and Emmett Smith in their bottom half of the second, though Alvarez has got to get past Dalton Irwin. He's got an 0-2 count. The pitch on the way is in the dirt. And the count will go to 1-2. So Irwin strides in a 1-2 count with a runner over at first. 2 down for the Marauders. They are down 4-2 here. The 1-2. Taken off as a runner, but that one will go foul. Count will remain 1-2 for Dalton Irwin. Irwin got the long hair going. Reminds me a lot of another shortstop, of course, at the big league level, Bo Bichette. Curious if Dalton's a fan of the Blue Jays. But anyway, 1-2 count here to Dalton Irwin. Runner over at first. 2 down. Alvarez looking to get out of it. The 1-2. That one is foul. So a 1-2 count here to Dalton Irwin as Alvarez finds himself a new baseball. 2 down for the Marauders. They're down 4-2 to the Bears. Dalton Irwin, who struck out in the first, looking to extend this 2-out rally with a runner at first. Alvarez in the set. The pitch on 1-2. That one's in the dirt. Stealing and easily getting to second is Collier. And the count will go to 2-2. Irwin awaits the 2-2, the pitch. That one's high, and it'll be ball. that was ball 4. So striding in here is Jordan Massis. Massis struck out in the first and is in a good position to bring around a couple more for the Bears here in the second. Runners on second and first. Alvarez will step off and reset. Alvarez, the first offering to Massis is high, and the count will go to 1-0. Count all the way to Massis. The pitch from Alvarez is going to get poked off the end of the bat. It'll go over the head of Schamberger and fall into right field. Coming around and scoring is Collier. He is safe. It'll be an RBI 2-out single for Jordan Massis, and coming up is Elias Avila, who led off the second inning. So Collier comes in and scores. Irwin goes all the way from first to third. And now Elias Avila will step in with runners on the corners, and the Bears now leading 5-2. Coach Quesada will call a quick mound visit. And runners on the corners with 2 outs. Tough position for Jan Alvarez, of course, finding the bases loaded earlier this inning. And unfortunately, a couple runs coming around off that sacrifice fly from Vance Sarter, and then the single bringing in Collier and Irwin to extend the Bear lead, now 5-2. Alvarez just trying to settle down and get out of this inning. He had a 1-2-3 in the first and struggling a little bit here in the second inning, but we'll see how he does in his second opportunity against Elias Avila. Avila leading off this inning. Got on with a walk and did come around to score. So Avila will stride in with runners on the corners. Marauders looking for that elusive third out. Avila awaits the first offering in his second opportunity against Alvarez. Pitch on the way. Taken off as a runner at first. Throw down from Harrison is cut off again by Lindsay. Irwin will stay over at third, and Jordan Massis will head over to second on the stolen base. 0-1 count here to Avila. Alvarez on 0-1, the pitch. Popped up, Emmitt Smith trying to end the inning. He will try to track it down, has to battle the sun, it'll fall in, 2 runs will come around and score. Irwin scores and Massis comes around. Nothing Emmitt Smith could do about that. It is a very, very bright and sunny day here in Cottonwood, Arizona, and it is tough to track down that baseball when it is in the dead center of the sky and the sun. So in a tough start for the Marauders, you see right there. Smith was trying to block the sun with his glove, but didn't know how shallow that fly ball was. His initial steps back, of course, correct, stepping backwards, but unable to track it down. And so Avila gets on, and Sam Brown, who struck out, watches the first pitch high for a ball. Yarbrough staying warm, just coming back from the bullpen. He'll be working with a hefty lead here in the third inning when we get to that inning. Marauders still looking for their second out. 1-0 count on the way to Brown. Off speed is in there for a strike, and you could flash forward even further. That missed strikeout against Hillig got Hillig on. That would have been the second out, and of course if Sarter flew out, you're out of the inning. But unfortunately, the Bears capitalize. The 1-1. It's in the dirt. Count to go to 2-1. Still a lot of baseball to be played, though. Marauders are able to tack on 2 in the first, and if they can keep chipping away and hopefully have a better inning in the third, we could see a completely different ball game. The 2-1. That one's in there for a ball. Count will go to 3-1. Not a bad spot again for Alvarez to miss. Does not catch the eye of the home plate umpire. 3-1 count to Brown. He was the first out of the inning. And now looking to extend the same inning he started. The 3-1. That one's fouled off. Alvarez able to work the count even here. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Avila over at first. Mingus still trying to get out of it. Brown awaits the payoff pitch here from Alvarez. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Mingus. The pitch. Ground ball. Peters unable to track it down, gets between Peters and Lindsay. Lindsay will hustle and cover third. It'll be another single for the Bears, as this time it's Sam Brown getting on. He'll move Avila to second, and now Josh Grant will step in. Grant walked and did come around to score in this inning. And now he will step in again against Alvarez with runners on second and first. First one on the way from Alvarez. The pitch. Going to be a ball. The count will go to 1-0. Grant holding back on that high fastball. You get a couple guys who do like that high fastball and are able to drive it out of the park. The 1-0. That'll go in there for a strike. Count will go to 1-1. But at least for me, I always struggled with sort of uppercutting my swing sometimes on those high pitches, which resulted more in pop-ups than home runs. The 1-1 popped up in the air, much like that. Rivera will look to track it down, and he won't. 2 more runs will come around. Grant's got a double. 1 run will come around, and we've got a runner hurt over at third. Trying to work his way back to third. He's out, but definitely a scary moment as Avila goes down, grabbing onto that left leg. He is out at third. That does end the inning, and the Bears able to bring around 1 more. They now lead 8-2. And hopefully Avila is okay. We'll get you an update on that when we come back. Marauders have some work to do.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon, attorneys at law. Trust well placed.
Bears able to bring around 8 in the second inning off a few hits. I should correct myself. It was not Avila who went down. It was Sam Brown. Brown is up on his feet and walking around. You can see him down third base line. Good sign for the Bradshaw Mountain left fielder. He is okay. Took a little bit of a spill rounding third base. He's just stretching it out now. So grabbing onto that left leg right near the hamstring, which is never something you want to see from a high school student. Tearing that hamstring is no fun, but thankfully Brown is okay. He is walking off on his own power. We'll see if we'll see him in left field. I don't think we will. Now he's starting to slow his walk up a little bit. So Brown on the day, though, able to get the RBI single and help extend this Bears lead 8-2 as we welcome you back here to Patterson Field on the campus of Mingus Union High School. We'll get you the substitution possibly in left field as we'll see what Coach Brundick does. It'll be Ryan Lindsay, Ryan Schamberger, and Emmett Smith as the Marauders try to work behind here, down by 6. We'll get you that sub out in left field here in a second. So it will be number 40, or I believe it's 24. I think Aiden Ott is out in left field. We'll get you that update here as Ryan Lindsay strides in. First offering here from Yarbrough. Pitch on the way is a ball. Count will go to 1-0 on Ryan Lindsay. Second offering here is in the dirt. Count will go to 2-0. So an 0-2 count here, or excuse me, 2-0 count here to Ryan Lindsay. Third pitch on the way from Yarbrough. Yarbrough finds the strike zone there. The count will go to 2-1. Two-one on the way here to Lindsay. That runs inside. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. So Lindsay will get on with a hit by pitch. And now Ryan Schamberger will try to bring around his fellow Ryan over at first. No outs, and Ryan Lindsay over at first base. Schamberger here at the plate. Mingus working down here, 8-2 in the second inning. A tough top half of the second inning for the Marauders. But they'll look to plate around a couple and cut it into the deficit and make this game more interesting. First one on the way to Schamberger is into left field. Ott will try to track it down. It will be the center fielder. That's Grant making the catch. Lindsay's got to go back to first. One down for the Bears. Emmett Smith will stride in. Or excuse me, it'll be Isaiah Godina. So Isaiah Godina striding in here with a runner on first. Pitch on the way is in the dirt, and the count will go to 1-0. Godina using the wood bat today. Of course, in high school sports, you can choose either the wood or the metal. Most guys usually going for the metal. You don't really see the wood bats until maybe college or definitely the professional levels, obviously. But Godina feeling confident swinging the lumber. Second offering is high and inside. That won't draw a throw down to first. The count will go to 2-0. We'll try to get you an update from the softball field whenever we can, as the Marauders are taking on the Bears right behind us on the softball field. 2-0 count to Isaiah Godina. Pitch on the way. Godina's going to try to bunt, and he will not get it down. The count will go to 2-1. Marauder softball team taking on the Marauder JV softball team taking on the Bears JV softball team over on the JV field near the football field here. So if you're looking at your screen now, it'd be more to your right near the football field and right field. Yarbrough takes a look at Lindsay over at first. The 2-1 offering here to Godina with one down. Runs inside, it'll be a strike. The count will go to 2-2. So a 2-2 count here to Isaiah Godina. Jonathan Sanchez waiting on deck. Yarbrough in the stretch, the 2-2. Popped up. Hillig will try to track it down in the sun. He will make the catch for out number 2. And here comes Jonathan Sanchez. Sanchez, one of 2 hits for the Marauders last Thursday against Coconino here in a 13-1 loss. Sanchez did end up scoring. You can see Hillig there making a good catch over at first, able to track it down. So Sanchez will stride in here. Yarbrough again taking a look at Ryan Lindsay over at first. The offering to Jonathan Sanchez is away for a strike. Throw down to first, not in time. So 0-1 count here to Jonathan Sanchez. Sanchez looking to move Lindsay in. The 0-1. Popped up. Again, the second baseman, Buckle, will have to battle the sun. He will make the catch for the final out of the second inning. Marauders only leave one man on. No one comes around to score. They still are down 8-2. We'll head to the top of the third. Stay with us.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
We take you to the top of the third as Sky Yarbrough will lead things off for the Bears. They currently lead the Mingus Marauders 8-2 here in the top of the third inning. Philip Catafamo, happy to have you along with me here. Jan Alvarez trying to bounce back from a tough outing in the second inning. His first offering to Yarbrough is a ground ball to Balo. Balo will pick it up, throw on to first, is not in time. And Yarbrough able to beat out the throw from Balo. He gets on with a leadoff single. And that'll be Blair Hillig. Hillig got on with a walk as we get a pinch runner for Sky Yarbrough. It'll be number 33, that's Shane Leavesay. So Hillig strides in here. Hillig got on with a walk and came around to score in the second inning. We'll see what he can do here with a man on and no one out. First one on the way. Off speed into center. Rivera's got to track it down. We'll see if he does. He will make the catch for out number one. So Hillig flies out to center. One down for the Marauders, and here comes Vance Sarter. Sarter flew out to left field, but was able to plate a couple on a sacrifice fly to get the scoring going early for the Bears. And I hate to say it, but it went all downhill from there for the Marauders. But new inning, and here's Mingus' opportunity to shorten this inning here for the Bears and try to slow their momentum with a runner on first. Sarter strides in with one out. Pitch on the way. Check swing didn't go. It'll get past Harrison. Runner will stay over at second, so no pressure there from Harrison to throw down to third. Count will go to 1-0 on Sarter. Sarter went 1 for 3 on April 9th against Saguaro in a 6-2 loss. Did his job in his first plate appearance in the second inning, like I mentioned, and the sacrifice fly. That'll go off the helmet of Harrison, and it'll go foul. Harrison is okay. The count will go to 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Sarter. Runner over at second, one down for the Marauders. Would love a shortened inning here. And try to chip away at that lead at their bottom half of the third, but Alvarez got to get 2 more outs. The 1-1 on the way. That'll be in the dirt, blocked again by Harrison. Runner will stay at second. 2-1 count. Alvarez's off speed was working well in the first, struggling a little bit here in the third, I should say, excuse me. But we'll see how he progresses, if he can find that grip as the game goes along. 2-1 count, runner over at first, one down. Alvarez the pitch. Got to run high and inside. Now the count will go to 3-1. So a 3-1 count here to Sartor. Alvarez trying to work his way back on 3-1. Now to go foul, and he does just that. Count to go full. So 3-2 count here to Sartor. Runner over at second, one down. Alvarez looking for that elusive fourth strikeout. And the second out of the inning, we'll see if he can get it this time against Sartor. Was able to get him to fly out in the second inning. Alvarez on 3-2. The offering. Ground ball. Schamberger with a great grab at first. They'll throw to second, trying to double up the runner, and they won't. Throw a little high from Schamberger, but what a great grab from the first baseman on the liner. 2 down for the Marauders, and they keep the runner at second. And that'll be the top of the order with Wes Collier. Collier, a ground-out victim in the first inning. Got on with a single. In the second, did come around to score. And a great grab from Schamberger over at first. That'll give you a little more confidence. First one on the way is away for a ball. One 0 count, runner at second. Pitch on the way to Collier. Popped up again into center field. Out, Rivera trying to track it down for the final out of the inning. It bounces off his glove. Coming in and scoring is Levise, and getting on to second with one out is Collier. So another run comes around for the Bears. They lead 9-2, 2 down, and Dalton Irwin will step in. Irwin struck out in the first, got on with a walk in the second, did come around to score. And that's tough, as the Marauders ran into a very similar situation last inning. And hopefully the damage will be a lot lighter than then. The first offering on the way to Irwin is high, and the count will go to 1-0. It was with 2 outs that the Bears were able to bring around, I believe, 4 runs. They were already leading at that time. And they ended up tacking on about 4 or 5 more, it looks like, as I refer back to the score sheet. 1-0 count here. So hopefully Alvarez will have a little bit more success here. I want to go high, and the count will go to 2-0. We have seen Alvarez struggle, but for the most part, Jan's done a great job of working after tough innings. And here is, if he can get Irwin out, it would be a significant increase. As that one goes away, the count will go to 3-0. It'll be a much better outing for Alvarez, only allowing 1 compared to the 8 that he allowed in the second. So 3-0 count here. Pitch on the way. That'll go high, and now it'll be a walk. So Irwin will get on. Collier will stay at second, and the Marauders still looking for that second out as Jordan Massis will step up. Massis struck out in the first inning, got a single and came around to score in the second. And now he's got runners on second and first with 2 down, and we'll see if Alvarez can get out of it. Massis awaits the first offering from Jan. The pitch, ground ball. Balo trying to end the inning. He'll pick it up. Throw on to first is easy, does it. And the Marauders get out of it, but not before 1 run could come around on 2 hits and 1 walk. Mingus still finds themselves down 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the third.
From the Merkin farm to your table, from their vines to your glass, Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin pizza and gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
And it'll be Anthony Rivera, Ben Balo, and Isaiah Godina, Jan Alvarez, the 1-2-3 for the Mingus Marauders. Want to welcome you back here as we pick things up in the bottom of the third inning. Mingus finding themselves still down 9-2 now, and they still face Ryan Yarbrough, who has been pitching quite well for the Bears, only allowing 2 hits so far. No strikeouts for the senior pitcher. 2 runs come around, and we'll see if Anthony Rivera can change his luck, a ground-out victim in the first inning, and we'll see what he can do here in the third. Do want to give you an update on the softball field behind us. 6-0. Mingus is currently leading Bradshaw in the 4th inning. So hopefully the Mingus Marauder softball team can get a victory as the Mingus Marauder baseball team works from behind. First one on the way here to Rivera. That was in there for a strike. 0-1 count here to Rivera with no one on. He's leading off here. Pitch. Curveball. Got a piece of it, but it'll go foul. Rivera was a first pitch swinging in his first at-bat. And now here he sees a couple pitches from Yarbrough. And looks to get on. The 0-2. That is in there. Backwards K. The first strikeout for Yarbrough. 1 down for the Bears, and Ben Balo will step in. Balo grounded out as well in the first inning. Looking to get on for the Marauders. Jan Alvarez on deck. We'll see if Alvarez comes out for the 4th inning. First one on the way. One is in there for a strike. Or excuse me, that's away for a ball. So 1-0 count here to Balo, looking to be the first base runner for the Marauders here in the 3rd inning. The 1-0. In right field, but it will go foul. So 1-1 count here to Ben Balo. Pitch on the way. Curveball in the dirt. Count will go to 2-1. And we'll see what Balo gets from Yarbrough here on 2-1. Pitch on the way. That one's foul. So Balo doing a good job protecting at the plate on 2-1. Saw something he likes. Took a swing at it. And it went foul. So now a 2-2 count. Balo's still looking to get on for Mingus. Yarbrough looking for another strikeout. Was able to get Rivera to strike out just a batter ago. The 2-2. Curveball. Grounder. Picked up by Buckle at second. Throw on to first is in time. Back-to-back outs for the Bears. And now Jan Alvarez will look to extend the inning for the Marauders. Alvarez got on with a hit by pitch. Did come around and score. Thanks to thanks to Zach Harrison. And we'll see what he can do here. His second opportunity against Ryan Yarbrough. No one on and 2 outs. First one on the way to Alvarez. Curveball is in there for a strike. Off speed working well for Yarbrough. The 0-1. That one will go foul. Count will go to 0-2. Trey Peters waiting on deck for Mingus. 0-2 count to Jan Alvarez here with 2 outs. Pitch on the way from Yarbrough. Chopper. Picked up by Hillig at first. It's off his shoe. Recovery from Buckle is not in time, and Alvarez is on. So we'll take a look at it there. A high chopper from Jan Alvarez just eats up Hillig over at first a little bit. Buckle doing a great job backing up his first baseman. Just Jan Alvarez able to beat out that throw from Buckle. And now Trey Peters, who does have a single, will step in with a runner on first. Peters came around to score in the first inning. First offering from Yarbrough is driven into left field. That'll get over the head of Ott. Jan Alvarez will round second. He's going to look to score. Alvarez will round third. The relay throw from Irwin's not in time. It's an RBI double with 2 outs for Trey Peters. How about the senior? Helping out the Marauders, a solid hit from Trey Peters, and he lines that one right into left field over the head of Ott. And you can see Jan Alvarez was scoring the entire time. A clean relay may have made it slightly interesting, but I'm sure Alvarez was safe all the way around. You can see Ott having to chase that one down. It goes all the way to the wall. And on the relay, Peters able to make it to second. Now Zach Harrison will stride in. He'll launch that one into right field. Massis watches that one over his head. It'll fall. Peters will easily score. Harrison will round second. We'll see if he wants more than third. He will round third. We'll see he's going to go for the inside the park. The throw in from Irwin is off the line. It's an inside the park home run. How about the Marauders? They're back in it. Zach Harrison. The captain, the quarterback, now the catcher, helping out his team 9-5 with 2 outs. And now Ryan Lindsay will step in. Mingus cutting the deficit here, 5-9 our score. And Lindsay will look to extend the lead. And you can see Peters didn't have to do too much rounding around third, but Harrison was on his horse. And you see right there, and the botched relay throw to the shortstop. It was almost a close play, though. Great job by Sertoro, the catcher, to almost get that tag at home, but Harrison doing a great job getting on. And now Lindsay will await the first pitch here. He'll line that one into left field. That'll fall. The 2-out rally will continue for the Marauders, as now Lindsay may get more. Lindsay gets on to second. It is a double, and the Mingus hit parade continues. And how about that? The Marauders, who were down in this inning, are clawing their way back. And we'll get a mound visit. Solid hitting from the middle of the Marauder lineup. Alvarez getting on with a single. Peters following that up with a RBI double. Harrison with an inside the Parker, the Little League home run to bring around Peters. And now Ryan Lindsay gets on. 9-5 our score. And now we'll see what Schamberger can do as the Marauders look to possibly cut the deficit to 3. And what a rally for the Marauders with 2 outs. How about a taste of your own medicine, Bradshaw? Schamberger, a flyout victim in the second inning. Runner on second with 2 outs. First offering on the way to Schamberger. The pitch. Watches that one in there for a strike. Isaiah Godino waiting on deck. The 0-1 on the way to Schamberger. With the runner on second, again 2 outs. The pitch. Schamberger chases that curveball in the dirt. And the count will go to 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Schamberger looking for something to piece up. Schamberger waiting the 0-2 here from Yarbrough. The pitch. Into left. Ott will not track it down. It'll fall. The hit parade continues. Coming in and scoring is Lindsay. Ryan Schamberger with an RBI double with 2 outs. One Ryan helping out another. The Marauders now down 6-9. And Isaiah Godino will look to bring around Ryan Schamberger here. Lindsay coming in and scoring there on your screen easily. And Schamberger with a stand-up double. Nice piece of hitting from the Marauders, finally getting to Yarbrough. They're able to plate around 2 in the first, and now here in the third. 4 runs come around on 5 hits. Godina awaits the first offering in his first plate appearance. Goes around on that swing. The count will go to 0-1. So an 0-1 count here to Isaiah Godina. Ryan Schamberger over at second. Pitch on the way. Swung on a miss. The count will go quickly to 0-2. So Yarbrough looking to get out of the inning, allowing 4 so far on 5 hits, one of which being a home run from Zach Harrison. But of course, don't sleep on the Bears offense. They've been great as well. The 0-2. Yarbrough gets out of it on the backwards K. His second strikeout of the night. The Bears get out of the third inning, but not before the Marauders can tack on a few themselves. 4 runs on 5 hits for Mingus. They are now down 9-6. There is life here at Patterson Field. Stay with us.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Jan Alvarez starts Elias Avila off with a high fastball. We pick things up here in the top of the 4th inning. The Marauders, a huge bottom of the 3rd inning, able to plate around a bunch of runs as Elias fouls that one off. The count will go to 1-1. They cut the deficit. It was 9-2. They score 4. It's 9-6. We've got a different ball game here in the 4th inning. Marauders now trying to keep the Bears' bats quiet. And the 1-1 on the way to Avila. That one's going to go high, and the count will go to 2-1. So the Marauders would love a good outing here from their junior pitcher. Something similar to what he had in the first, the 2-1. That'll go in the dirt. The count will go to 3-1. Aiden Ott, who came in relief of Sam Brown, will bat next. 3-1. Swung on and missed. Alvarez doing a good job getting back into this one. Count is full. Elias Avila walked in the second and got a single in the second and scored both times. So he's been a tough out for Jan Alvarez. Now a 3-2 count. Alvarez looking for his first out of the inning. The 3-2 offering. Popped up into center field. Rivera got a battle of the wind and the sun. No problem. He'll make the catch out in center field for out number 1. And now Aiden Ott will step in. So Aiden Ott with 1 out, his first opportunity at the plate. Came in relief of Sam Brown, who unfortunately suffered an injury. Not sure the extent of that injury, but Ott takes the first pitch and fouls it. Brown got a almost triple. It was a single. He was out and advancing at third. He unfortunately rounded the base and took a stumble and was able to get up on his own power, thankfully, but he is not in for the rest of this game as Aiden Ott strides in. He waits for the 0-1. That'll go low. The count will go to 1-1. Josh Grant waiting on deck. 1-1 on the way. The pitch. Ground ball down the line. It'll get in between third and short. It'll be a 1-out single for Aiden Ott, his first hit tonight. And now they'll bring up Josh Grant, who's also been a tough out for the Marauders. Grant walked in the second inning, did come around to score, and then got a single, was stranded at first in the second inning, as he was the base hit that brought Brown to third and got Brown out on advancing. So Grant looking for another base hit here. Bears saw their lead squandered a little bit First one on the way to Grant. He's going to lay down a bunt. It'll go foul. Double play still a possibility for the Marauders, and they would love it. 0-1 count here to Josh Grant. We'll see what Alvarez has got in store for him. The 0-1 offering. Grant in the center. Rivera will let it bounce in front of him. It will be a one-out single as well for Josh Grant, his second. And it'll bring up Sky Yarbrough. Yarbrough, the pitcher, was pitching well until last inning, but at the plate he has been magnificent. 2 for 2 so far. Scored on both opportunities in the second as well as the third. And now he'll look to tack on a few of those runs that he unfortunately gave up with 2 men on. The first offering to Yarbrough, the pitch from Alvarez. That's away. The count will go to 1-0. So 1-0 count here. Yarbrough waits the second pitch. Alvarez checks the runner at second. He goes towards the plate. Popped up. We will see where that one goes as Sanchez looks to track it down. Yarbrough hits a home run. Wow. I thought that one was going to go foul or maybe hang up in the air a little bit more, but Yarbrough got all of that one, brings around everybody on the homer. 3 for 3, and that's a way to help yourself out. And our score now goes 12-6. And we'll bring up Blair Hillig. Hillig got a walk, came in to score in the second inning, and then flew out in the third. Still 1 down for the Marauders. As Sky Yarbrough hits one out of the ballpark. First one on the way here to Hillig. That one will go foul. The 0-1. Now once away, the count will go to 1-1. Wind continuing to blow here at Patterson Field. The 1-1. That'll go in the dirt. The count will go to 2-1. So now a 2-1 count here to Hillig. Pitch on the way. That'll go in the dirt. Count will go to 3-1. So on the 3-1, the pitch on the way to Hillig. In the center. Rivera's got to track it down. They go back to back. Nope, hits off the wall. Rivera will relay it in. Nobody's covering second. Balo has nobody to throw to as Lindsay hustles over to second. It'll be a double for Hillig. And now Vance Sartor will check in. Sartor's sacrifice fly in the second inning and a line out in the third off a great diving grab from Ryan Schamberger. And we'll see a pitching change as Ryan Lindsay will go to the mound and Jan Alvarez will head over to short. We'll let Lindsay warm up. Stay with us here on Verde Valley TV.
The Suzy Q Market is the most convenient stop for road trips with 1,500 beverage selections and plenty of snacks. And save on fuel with the Marathon Make It Count reward program. The Suzy Q drive-thru window is the most convenient way to stop for those essentials on the way home.
Road trips start here with something for everyone.
At Suzy Q.
Shop local first, always.
Go Marauders!
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 36 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. They thank you for your business confidence and continued referrals. Lawler Construction, a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction homes at Mountain Gate and Clarkdale this summer.
Ryan Lindsay's first offering to Vance Sarter is in the dirt. Count will go to 1-0. Lindsay coming in relief of Jan Alvarez. Marauders now down 12-6 to the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Off the home run from Sky Yarbrough a little earlier this inning. Second offering is in the dirt. The count will go to 2-0. Alvarez and Lindsay switching positions. Lindsay going from short to the mound, and Alvarez going from the mound to shortstop. Sartor waiting the second offering here, the 2-0. Now to go in the dirt, the count will go to 3-0. Ryan Lindsay did come in relief against Coconino. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 walk on 24 pitches. And now coming in relief here back at home. He gives the 3-0 here to Sartor. That one's in there for a strike. 1 down for the Marauders. 3 runs have come around so far on 4 hits. Hillig waiting on second. 3-1 on the way from Lindsay, the pitch. And it'll be a walk. That'll get past Harrison, but it will fall into the legs of the umpire, so Harrison doesn't have to go too far to grab it. It'll keep Hillig over at second. It'll move Sartor to first, and coming up now is Wes Collier. Collier grounded out in the first inning. Got on with a base hit in the second, came around to score, and then got on with a double and was stranded in the third inning. And he'll step up here with runners on second and first, the first offering on the way. That'll high. Count will go to 1-0. Lindsay, the 1-0 offering the pitch. That's in the dirt. Good block there by Harrison. And the count will go to 2-0. 2-0 count here to Collier, the pitch. Make it 3-0 as it gets past Harrison. Hillig and Sartor moving from second to third and from first to second. So the runners advance on the pass ball. Collier sees his count go 3-0. The 3-0 offering. That'll go away for a ball. It'll be a walk. So the bases are loaded for Dalton Irwin. Irwin struck out in the first, got a walk in the second, did come around to score, and then got a walk in the third inning and was stranded at first. We'll get a pinch runner for the catcher. That'll be Thomas McLaughlin. So McLaughlin now the man over at second, as Sartor will get an opportunity to get the gear back on, and Coach Quesada will go talk to his new pitcher, Isaiah Godina. So the Marauders, or excuse me, is that Ben Balo? It is Ben Balo. Oh no, I was right, it is Isaiah Godina. So Isaiah Godina will come in and pitch. Ryan Lindsay going over to second base. Godina coming into this game. 6.39 ERA in 3 appearances for the freshman. Still a lot of time for Isaiah. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 12 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the freshman. Godina looking to get the Marauders out of this inning. Only 1 down for Mingus. Bases are loaded. And Dalton Irwin awaits the first offering from the new pitcher. Get you some defensive subs here. Isaiah Godina going from right field to pitch. Lindsey going to second base. And Ben Balo is the new right fielder. And Isaiah Godina is on the mound. So the bases are loaded for Dalton Irwin with one out. He awaits the first pitch here from the freshman pitcher who will work out of the full windup. Godina throws that one away. The count will go to 1-0. One-0 count here. Pitch on the way. That'll go in there for a strike. So a 1-1 count here to Dalton Irwin. Irwin struck out in the first. Got on with a walk in the second. Did come around to score and then got on with a walk again in the third. He awaits the 1-1. That'll run inside, get past Harrison. Coming in and scoring is Hillig. And the Bears have extended their lead. McLaughlin will go to third and Collier will go to second. It'll be a 2-1 count to Dalton Irwin. 13-6 our score. The 2-1. Down the line, into the glove of Peters. He will step on third. Heads up play from the senior third baseman to double up the runners and get the Marauders out of the inning, but not before the Bears could bring around four. Their lead extends 13-6. We'll be right back as it's the Marauder half of the fourth.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
The most common reasons for bankruptcy are unforeseen circumstances like tragedies, illness, unemployment, and foreclosures. I'm Michael Gordon. We understand your situation and your need to look at all the alternatives. Call Gordon & Gordon for a free, non-judgmental bankruptcy or foreclosure consultation. Ask about zero-down bankruptcy options. Gordon & Gordon, attorneys at law. Trust well placed.
Jonathan Sanchez will lead things off here in the the bottom of the fourth inning as the Marauders are down 13-6. It'll be Jonathan Sanchez, then the top of the order with Anthony Rivera and Ben Balo. The 1-2-3 for the Marauders as they continue to face Sky Yarbrough on the mound for the Bradshaw Bears. A tough inning for Yarbrough in the third. 4 runs coming across on 5 hits. And the Marauders would love another inning like that. And we'll see what they can do with Jonathan Sanchez leading things off. Sanchez popped up in the second inning, his only at-bat so far. Yarbrough's first offering on the way to Sanchez as we kick things off in the top of the fourth inning. Bottom of the fourth inning. Popped up again. We'll see if it stays in the ballpark. Everybody trying to track it down, and it'll fall. Count will go to 0-1 on that foul ball from Jonathan Sanchez. So Sanchez will stride in here again on 0-1. Leading off the inning here in the bottom of the fourth. Bradshaw leading 13-6 against the Mingus Marauders. The 0-1 on the way to Sanchez. The pitch. Sanchez lets that one go. The count will go to 1-1. Sanchez waiting the 1-1. Pitch on the way. He watches that one all the way in for a strike. Now the count will go to 1-2. Only 2 strikeouts so far for Yarbrough. Sanchez awaits the 1-2. Make it 3. First down of the inning for Yarbrough is once again a strikeout. Did it in the third, does it here again in the fourth, and we'll see if Anthony Rivera can get his first single of the night. Grounded out in the first and struck out in the third. Alvarez trying to be the first base runner for the Marauders here. Pitch from Yarbrough. Off speed low, and the count will go to 1-0. Good eye there from Anthony Rivera to lay off that low curve. He awaits the 1-0. Pitch on the way. That'll be a ball. The count will go to 2-0. So now a 2-0 count to Anthony Rivera. The 2-0. Rivera able to get a base hit into right field. A one-out single for Anthony Rivera, and the Marauders have their first base runner here of the fourth. Just a nice off the end of the bat base hit right there for Anthony Rivera. Couldn't ask for anything more. A little bloop shot over the second baseman's head. And now we'll see Ben Balo stride in, who's also looking for his first base hit tonight. Grounded out in the first, grounded out as well in the third. Of course, Yarbrough would love a double play. See if the Marauders can avoid that as Balo strides in. First one on the way is in for a strike. So an 0-1 count here to Balo. Runner over at first base with one down. Balo awaits the 0-1, the pitch. That'll go high. And away, the count will go to 1-1. Keeping an eye on Anthony Rivera down first base line. One count. Again, runner over at first. It's Anthony Rivera who led things off with a base hit. That one swung on a miss. The count will go to 1-2. I should say he didn't lead off. Sanchez led off, but Rivera got on nonetheless. One down for the Bears. Balo here with a 1-2 count. Looking to get on. Balo on 1-2, the pitch. Curveball swung on a miss. Throw down to second. It is in time. It is a double play for the Bears. They get out of it, strike them out, throw them out. They keep their lead 13-6. We'll head to the top of the fifth inning. Stay with us.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare 23 insurance companies for home, health, auto, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance. Call or visit All Price Insurance today.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
Jordan Massis, Elias Avila, and Aiden Ott will be the 1-2-3 for the Bears here in the top of the fifth inning. Isaiah Godina still on the mound for the Marauders. Tried to limit the damage as much as he could in the fourth inning, coming in relief of Ryan Lindsay, who came in relief of Jan Alvarez. Marauders still down by 7 here, as Jordan Massis, who has a single tonight, will step in. Struck out and ground out in his other 2 at-bats. Did come around and score when he was on with that single. First one on the way to Massis. The pitch. That one's away. The count will go to 1-0. The 1-0 on the way from Isaiah Godina. That one's in the dirt. The count will go to 2-0. Godina, just a freshman here at Mingus Union High School, starting out his first season with the Marauders. The 2-0. That'll go low. The count will go quickly to 3-0 to Jordan Massis. Elias Avila waiting on deck. The 3-0. That runs way inside, and Massis will get on with a walk. So it'll be a leadoff walk for Jordan Massis. Elias Avila will step in. Avila got on with a walk in the second, came around to score, got on with a single in the second inning as well, came around to score, and then flew out in the fourth inning. So a 1-for-2 night so far with a walk for Avila, as Massis is over at first. Godina working out of the stretch here. First one on the way. Massis will stay at first. That one will be in there for a strike, and the count will go to 0-1. The 0-1 on the way to Avila. The pitch. That runs inside. The count will go to 1-1. So now a 1-1 count to Avila with a man on first. Pitch on the way. That one's in there for a strike. The count will go to 1-2. So Godina working back, or I should take that back. He's been ahead the entire time, so he's got a 1-2 count here to Avila, looking for his first strikeout of the night. The pitch. Ground ball to third. Peters will pick it up. He'll throw on to second and get the runner out at second, and not going to warrant a throw from Ryan Lindsay. But they're able to get Massis out at at second. Avila will get on with the fielder's choice. One down for the Marauders. And here comes Aiden Ott. Ott got on with a single, came around to score in the fourth inning. His only at-bat coming in relief of Sam Brown. Pickoff move to first is not in time. We'll see if Avila takes off at first. I don't think he will, as Ott awaits the first offering with one out. The pitch. That one's high and away, but a great grab from Zach Harrison. And the count will go to 1-0. You want to talk about confidence going forward. If Godina can get that double play right here and get out of this, gives a little bit of momentum towards Mingus, getting their first 1-2-3 inning since the first. That one's going to go high and into left field. It's not going to stay in the ballpark, but it is going to go foul. Count will go to 1-1. Especially a young pitcher like Godina, who came in relief and struggled a little bit. If he can get Ott to ground out here in a double play, maybe a quick chopper to Alvarez, over to Lindsay, then on to first to Schamberger, really gets you fired up heading into your half of the inning. But we'll see what happens. The 1-1. That one's high, and the count will go to 2-1. So a 2-1 count to Aiden Ott. The 2-1. That one does find the strike zone. The count will go to 2-2. So now Godina with a possibility to get his second out this inning. Or if he can get Ott swinging in the right spot, he could be looking at a double play. Godina, the 2-2. That one's away. Now the count will go full. Good eye there from Aiden Ott. Three-two count. Runner on first with one down. Godina working again out of the stretch. The full count pitch. And it's going to be a walk. So Ott gets on with a walk. Avila will go over to second, and here comes Josh Grant, who is 2 for 2 with a walk. Came around to score in the second inning. Was stranded at first in the second inning, and then came around to score again in the fourth. And now Godina will, again, still search for that second out. First one on the way to Grant with runners on second and first. That one's in the dirt, kept in front by Harrison. And the count will go to 1-0. Grant awaiting the second offering here from Godina, the 1-0. That one's a ball, and the count will go to 2-0. So a 2-0 count here to Josh Grant. One down. Bears still lead by 7, 13-6 our score. The pitch on 2-0. Down the line, Peters eats him up at third. We'll see if he stays with it to get the out at first, and he does not. Everybody's safe. And we'll bring up Sky Yarbrough, who went yard in the fourth inning, hitting a home run and extending the Bears' lead. Godina is done, and I believe that's Cogill who will check in. And we'll double check that, but we'll let Hunter warm up as he comes in relief for the Marauders. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
From the Merkin farm to your table, from their vines to your glass, Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin pizza and gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
Hunter Cogill will take the mound for the Marauders in relief of Isaiah Godina. One out, and the bases are loaded. It'll be the pitcher Sky Yarbrough on the mound for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. They currently lead 13-6 against these Mingus Marauders. We did see Hunter last time we were here. Cogill, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. No earned runs come around. He came in relief on 17 pitches and was able to get out of an abysmal inning for the Marauders. And we'll see if he can keep the bats quiet here in the 4th inning. Or I should say we're in the 5th now, so the top of the 5th, excuse me. So Yarbrough will stride in. Yarbrough, a single, and a home run. 3 for 3 so far for the senior pitcher. He watches that first pitch in there for a strike. The count will go to 0-1 early on. Cogill trying to keep the bats quiet. The sophomore pitcher. Second appearance for Cogill this season. The 0-1. Swung on a miss for strike 2. 2 quick strikes for Cogill. And we'll see if he can get Yarbrough swinging. Cogill on 0-2, the pitch. Yarbrough again in the left field. Carrying back, he hit a home run. You can add a grand salami to the scoreboard. Yarbrough goes yard again, and the Bears extend their lead 17-6. Wow, what a hit. I wonder if Sky likes his grand salamis with mustard or not, because that was absolutely smoked in the left field. (17-6) our score. And now the bases are empty with 1 out, and Blair Hillig will step in. And now the Marauders will try to survive in the bottom of the 5th when it's their time to bat. As Blair Hillig will step in, who has also been a tough out. Walked in the second, came around to score, flew out in the third, and then got a double and scored as he swings and misses the first pitch here in the fifth. As I mentioned, a double and scored in the fourth inning. But Sky Yarbrough, what a game so far for the senior pitcher for Bradshaw. The 0-1. Now to go in the dirt. The count will go now 1-1. One on the way to Hillig. The pitch from Cogill. That one's away, and the count will go to 2-1. You know, I don't mean any ill intention on this, but on the plus side, at least most of those runs won't be tallied towards Cogill. The 2-1. That one's away for a ball. The one run, of course, Yarbrough will count. So Cogill, for the most part, keeps his ERA down. Unfortunately, though, for the Marauders, they don't keep the score down, as Cogill, unfortunately, leaves that pitch high for Yarbrough to take into left field. But if there's any plus side, at least his ERA isn't too bad. 3-1, swung on and missed. The count will go to 3-2. And now Cogill with an opportunity to get his first strikeout of the evening. We'll see if he gets it here on 3-2, the pitch. He will. Got him looking. Second out of the inning, first strikeout for Cogill. And now it'll be Sarter. Sarter flew out with a sacrifice fly in the second inning, lined out in the third from a great play from Ryan Schamberger, and then got on with a walk, but was doubled up at third in the fourth. So Sarto is working for, or Sartor, excuse me, if I pronounce his name wrong, I apologize. He is looking for his first base hit tonight. 0-2 so far with a walk and a couple RBIs. First one on the way. That one's high. Count will go to 1-0. But a great job from Cogill on that last batter to work Hillig back, a guy who has really been solid for the Bears so far today, to work back from behind in the count and get the batter swinging. A great, that one goes low, the count will go to 2-0. A great pitching battle there from Cogill, able to win the battle against Hillig. So you see some glimpses there of Hunter Cogill. Of course, he's only a sophomore, so he's still got 2 more years here at Mingus. And of course, here he's got a 2-0 count. Pitch on the way. That'll go away. The count will go to 3-0. So we saw Cogill able to battle back down 3-0 against Hillig. We'll see if he can do the same thing here against Sarter. He's got to kind of throw something that he's going to want to take a swing at. The 3-0. That'll be a walk. It is a 2-out walk for Sarter. And now Collier will step in. We'll get a pinch runner. It'll be McLaughlin again, running for the catcher. So another pinch runner for the Bears. As now it'll be Collier stepping in. Collier, 2 for 3 so far with a walk. Single and a double for the designated hitter. Marauders looking for that third out. And it'll be down the line, and it'll go foul. Ryan Schamberger almost able to grab a piece of it, but looks right into the sun. I don't even think Ryan expected it to come his way so quickly, but it does go foul, so no damage done. Count will go to 0-1. Of course, had that stayed fair, it would have been absolute trouble for Isaiah Godina in right field. Or, I'm sorry, Ben Balo over in right field. The 0-1. Pickoff move to Cowgill. From Cowgill is a no throw from the pitcher. So now an 0-1 count here to Collier. The pitch on the way. That one's away. The count will go to 1-1. So Cogill able to add another strikeout to the tally this season. The 1-1. Collier pops that one up in right field. We'll see if Balo can track it down in right field. It will be caught, and it's out of the glove of Rivera. Coming in and scoring will be McLaughlin. Collier will stay at third. It is a triple with 2 outs. And a run does come around. And we'll get a pinch hitter for the Bears. Dalton Irwin's night is done. And here comes number 30. That is Nate Ramirez. We'll see if Ramirez finds his way out to the field as he pinch hits for Dalton Irwin. First one on the way. Runs inside, and the count will go to 1-0 on Ramirez. So 1-0 count here to the pinch hitter. Man at third, that's Collier. The 1-0 from Cogill. Pitch on the way. It's in the dirt. Count will go to 2-0. Cogill on 2-0. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Gets a strike there, and the count will go to 2-1. On the way to Ramirez. The pitch is fouled off. Now the count will go to 2-2. Again, the young pitcher doing a good job of working his way from behind the count. We'll see if he can get it out this time. Was able to last time against Blair Hillig. Was behind the count, able to work it full, and ended up getting the strikeout. And so Cogill trying to get that third out here. The 2-2 on the way. Slow chopper. We'll see if they can do it. Alvarez picks it up at short. Throw on to first is not in time. Oh, they did. They got him in time. It was close. I apologize for being a little bit early on the gun, but a great play from Jan Alvarez. That is the third out of this inning. The Marauders will try to stay afloat here in the bottom of the fifth inning. They got to tack on a few more to keep this game going. Stay with us.
From the Glen Canyon Dam to the corner sidewalks, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has helped build Arizona and the Southwest since 1959. Much like the products they provide, Salt River Materials Group, Phoenix Cement, has a strong sense of community and contributes to it in meaningful ways. Phoenix Cement is considered a premier employer and community supporter and would like to thank their friendly neighbors for 6 decades of continued support. Think harder, think concrete.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Jan Alvarez, Trey Peters, and Zach Harrison, the 1-2-3 for the Marauders here as they look to stay alive in the bottom of the fifth inning. Mingus will face Sky Yarbrough still on the mound. Yarbrough pitching well so far for the Bears, minus the third inning where he allowed 4 runs on 5 hits. Other than that, he's been pretty solid. Able to keep the Marauder bats quiet. Last inning, a 1-2-3 inning for the sophomore pitcher, and he'd love another one here to end out the game. The Marauders, of course, looking for a few runs to keep this game going. Jan Alvarez does have a single tonight, got it in the third. Got a hit by pitch in the first, has scored both times. First one on the way to Alvarez. That one's foul. First pitch swinging from Jan Alvarez. This is the heart of the lineup for the Marauders. A lot of success here for Mingus. Alvarez, Peters, Harrison, and Lindsay all have gotten on so far tonight. That one goes in for a ball. So this is the Marauders' opportunity right here to try to tack on a couple more. Cut into the deficit and go into the 6th instead of ending things here in the 5th. 18-6 our score. The 1-2 on the way to Alvarez. The pitch from Yarbrough is fouled off. The count will go to 1-2. Alvarez is 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Peters is 2 for 2. Harrison is 2 for 2. And Lindsay is 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch as well. So like I said, that middle of the order working well for the Marauders. Alvarez looking to start it off. The 1-2 to short. Irwin scoops it up. Throw on to first. Going to be close. Not in time. Alvarez is safe, and he's going to stay at first. So it's a leadoff single for Jan Alvarez, and here comes Zach Harrison. Harrison a single. Or sorry, Trey Peterson, excuse me. Trey Peters will step in. Peters had a single in the first, came around to score. Got a double in the third, came around to score, and now he'll look to keep his success against this pitcher, Sky Yarborough, going in the fifth. Alvarez over at first base. Peters awaits the first offering. Pickoff move is not in time. Good play from Irwin over at short. I didn't mention it too much. Just Alvarez beat out the throw. A great job from the shortstop to keep that one in front of him. Peters still waiting the first offering here from Yarborough with a runner on first. That's Jan Alvarez. Pitch from Yarborough. Off speed is in for a strike. Marauders having to work with a very large strike zone. Peters awaiting the 0-1 here from Yarborough. We'll see if Alvarez takes off to second. The 0-1. There goes Alvarez. Nope, he's going to stay over at first. That'll go in the dirt. The count will go to 1-1. Thought Alvarez was going to take off, but it was just a extended lead. So Alvarez will stay at first. Peters will await the 1-1 here from Yarborough. Yarborough will take a look at the runner at first. Pitch on the way to Peters. Off speed, swung on and missed. Count will go to 1-2. Peters choking up on the bat here, trying to shorten his swing. 1-2 count. Runner at first, it's Alvarez. Peters barely gets it off the end of the bat. And it'll go foul. The count will remain 1-2. It just seems like one of those pitches. It looks like Trey just kind of wish he'd get that one back as he fouls that one off. Didn't want to swing, but he liked it. 1-2 count here. Pitch from Yarborough is again foul. So Peters doing a great job at the plate battling. Piecing off anything that Yarborough throws close. One-two count. Pitch on the way to Peters on 1-2 is in the left, and it will fall for a base hit. Alvarez will stay on second. The Marauders have 2 on, no out, and here comes Zach Harrison. Trey Peters 3 for 3 so far for the Marauders, and Harrison, who's looking to go 3 for 3 himself, will stride in with runners on second and first and no out. Harrison a double in the second inning, was out and advancing, or excuse me, a double in the first inning, was out and advancing. Played around 2, and funny enough, it was Alvarez and Peters. And then hit it inside the Parker in the third inning to cut the then deficit down to single digits. And then, of course, we all know what happened after that. Bradshaw was able to tack on a bunch more. And now Harrison will be tasked with keeping this game going. 2 men on, no outs. First one on the way to Harrison is fouled off. Count will go to 0-1. Harrison awaiting the 0-1 here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. That one gets past the catcher. Both Alvarez and Peters will advance to third and second, respectively. The count will go to 0-2. And now Harrison will have to protect. Down 0-2. Ryan Lindsay, who's got a single tonight, will wait on deck. The 0-2 on the way to Harrison. The pitch. That one's away, and the count will go to 1-2. So a 1-2 count here to Harrison. Yarborough looking for strikeout number 5. The 1-2. He'll get it. Sartor will throw on to first. Alvarez and Peters will stay on third and second, and 1 down for the Bears. Ryan Lindsay will stride in. Lindsay, a hit by pitch in the second inning, stranded at first, and then got on with a single. Came in to score in the third inning. And with runners on second and third, not going to take too much to bring around two. Ryan Schamberger waiting on deck. First one on the way to Lindsay. Pitch from Yarbrough. Hits the outside corner. The count will go to 0-1 on that curveball from Yarbrough. Throw down to third. They did not get him. They thought they caught Alvarez sleeping. So Alvarez safe at third. The count 0-1 here to Ryan Lindsay with one down. Trey Peters over at second. Jan Alvarez at third. Lindsay awaiting the 0-1 offering here. Pitch on the way. That'll be a ball, and the count will go to 1-1. So 1-1 count here. Pitch on the way. Lindsay, slow chopper up the middle. Irwin will pick it up. Throw on to first. Is in time for the second out. Alvarez will score. So the Marauders able to bring around one. On the ground out from Lindsay, and now Ryan Schamberger will step up with Trey Peters over at third and two out. Fly out in the second inning and a double in the third. He got stranded at second as Ryan Schamberger brought around Ryan Lindsay to score in that four-run inning for the Marauders in the third. Schamberger watches the first one in for a strike. He will be the possible final out here. Oh, one count. Pitch on the way to Schamberger. Swung on a miss. Count goes quickly to 0-2. Nice off-speed pitch again there from Yarbrough. Yarbrough looking to shut the game out here. Two down, one man on third. The 0-2 offering on the way to Schamberger. The pitch. Off-speed is foul, so Schamberger will stay alive. So Schamberger going to have to protect here on 0-2. I'm sure Yarbrough is going to try to blow Schamberger away with a fastball here after giving him a few strikeout or a few curves. He awaits the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Got him. That'll do it. Well, it's a tough loss for the Marauders as they lose 18-7 in 5. Good win for the Bears. They'll look to continue that momentum on Thursday as these two teams face off in Prescott Valley. Marauders will look to steal one away from the Bears. And the Bears would like to keep their momentum going at home. We're going to wrap things up here when we come back. We'll get you stats and we'll get you ready for next week.
From the Merkin farm to your table, from their vines to your glass, Merkin Vineyards Tasting Room in Osteria, a sense of place for extended family and community. The Merkin mission is to deliver a total sustainable Arizona experience, with fruits and vegetables family farmed in the Verde Valley and vines grown on Arizona Merkin acreage. Pastas and breads made from scratch and served with daily seasonal specials. Keep an eye out for the Merkin pizza and gelato wagons using the same local ingredients.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate, as well as a third-generation State Farm agent, serving you in the same Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin and her team want to wish all of the Mingus athletes the best of luck this season. Go Marauders! Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
A tough outing for the Mingus Marauders here at Patterson Field. The Marauders unfortunately falling to the Bradshaw Mountain Bears 18-7. A tough outing for Jan Alvarez on the mound for the Marauders, but they'll look to bounce back on Thursday on the road to Prescott Valley, where they'll take on these Bradshaw Mountain Bears, who are celebrating the victory with some legitimate wind sprints, as it's probably like 20-mile-per-hour winds right now, but a good win for the Bears. They will take on, as I mentioned, the Marauders on Thursday, and next week they'll take a 2-game series against Lee Williams. They'll start that on the road on Tuesday. A great outing for Sky Yarbrough. 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 7 earned runs on 10 hits. He went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs. An absolute incredible day for the senior pitcher, and he was one of the many reasons why the Bears walked away with the victory tonight. For the Marauders, of course, though, there were some good things to talk about. I know Alvarez struggled a little bit. I thought Hunter Cogill did great in relief. Was able to sort of slow down the bats a little bit and get out of the inning when they needed it. I know he played it around that home run from Yarbrough, but, you know, sometimes you leave something up, and I know it's windy, so whatever. Jan Alvarez, though, 2 for 2 with a walk. Did come around to score each time. Trey Peters, 3 for 3. A single, a double, and a single for the senior third baseman. And Zach Harrison, 2 for 3. A double and a home run for the junior catcher. So the Marauders will focus their attention, as I mentioned, on this Thursday. They'll be on the road to take on the Bears. The softball team was able to get a victory tonight against the Bradshaw Mountain Bears as well, 10-0 in a 5-inning affair. Then we'll be back on April 19th on Monday as the Marauders take on the Winslow Bulldogs, their first matchup against a White Mountain team. So Marauders will have to bounce back on Thursday against Bradshaw Mountain on the road, and then they will be back here on Monday to take on Winslow. And you can catch that game right here on Verde Valley TV. For our cameraman John Stabe and Steve Endicott, for our producer Ryan Nichols, I am Philip Katafamo, wishing you a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Monday for baseball against Winslow. Have a great night, everyone.